When people talk about cyber warfare, there's one name that always comes up: U.S. Cyber Command. It's not a group of hackers in hoodies. It's a full military command, on the same level as America's nuclear forces or the Air Force. Cyber Command works hand in hand with the NSA, one of the most secretive organizations in the world. Together, they can scan global communications, shut down enemy servers, and protect America's own networks. What makes it different from anyone else? It plays both defense and offense. On defense, it shields government systems, banks, and power grids from endless attacks by Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. On offense, it launches digital strikes that can silence enemies before they even realize what happened. Take ISIS as an example. While the world fought them on the ground, Cyber Command went after them online. It crashed their websites, jammed their propaganda channels, and cut off recruitment. For the first time, code became a weapon as powerful as bombs, and it doesn't stop there. In recent U.S. elections, Cyber Command worked behind the scenes to block foreign disinformation and dismantle bot networks. Because today, wars aren't only fought with tanks. They're fought on Facebook, Twitter, and Telegram. Billions of dollars, thousands of experts, and some of the most advanced tech on Earth, all focused on one mission: to make sure America dominates the battlefield of cyberspace. Cyber Command is more than a shield. It's a sword. And in the wars of the future, that sword might be the most powerful weapon the U.S. has ever built. If America's Cyber Command is a fortress, Russia's GRU cyber units are the saboteurs in the shadows. The GRU, Russia's military intelligence, controls hacker groups that have made global headlines. The most famous is Fancy Bear, blamed for hacking elections, leaking data, and spreading chaos online. Their style is simple: cause disruption. They've shut down parts of Ukraine's power grid, attacked European governments, and leaked emails during the 2016 U.S. elections. These operations aren't always clean or subtle, but they create fear and confusion. And that's the point. The GRU doesn't just break into computers. It plants fake stories, fuels political fights, and shakes trust in democratic systems. It's cyber war as psychological warfare. Western experts call them reckless. But for Russia, it's a cheap weapon with big results. A way to hit harder than its economy or army normally could. Today, as the war in Ukraine continues, GRU hackers are active every day. They target supply chains, infrastructure, and even civilians. They are Moscow's hidden front line in the digital world. So while the U.S. builds walls, the GRU throws digital grenades. And sometimes, chaos is the strategy. Iran doesn't have the biggest army in cyberspace, but it has one of the most determined. Its hackers are often known as APT-33 and APT-34, and they've built a reputation for bold strikes across the Middle East and beyond. Their main targets? Energy companies, oil refineries, and government networks. Iran knows that controlling energy means controlling power, both literally and politically. So their cyber units go after oil giants in Saudi Arabia, the Gulf states, and even Western companies. One of their most famous moves was the Shamoon virus attack, which wiped out tens of thousands of computers in Saudi Aramco. Overnight, one of the world's biggest oil producers was thrown into digital chaos. A PT-33 has also focused on aviation and defense contractors, trying to steal research and designs. A PT-34, sometimes called oil rig, specializes in espionage, breaking into email servers and quietly siphoning data for months. What makes Iran's cyber army different is its regional focus. It's less about global domination, more about building influence in the Middle East, from Iraq and Syria to the Persian Gulf. And for a country facing constant sanctions and military pressure, cyber warfare is the perfect tool. Cheap, deniable, and effective. But these hackers aren't only playing defense. They've shown they can hit back at rivals, disrupt industries, and send a message. Even without a massive conventional army, Iran can fight in the digital shadows. North Korea doesn't fight cyber wars the way others do. Its most infamous hackers are known as the Lazarus Group, a shadow team blamed for some of the boldest digital crimes in history. Unlike the US or China, which focus on military or industry, Lazarus has a different mission. Cash. Heavily sanctioned and isolated, North Korea uses hacking as a way to fund its regime. They've raided banks, hijacked cryptocurrency exchanges, and attacked financial systems across the globe. One of their biggest strikes was the 2016 Bangladesh bank hack, where they tried to steal $1 billion and still got away with $81 million. Then came the WannaCry virus in 2017. It spread like wildfire, locking hundreds of thousands of computers, from British hospitals to Asian corporations, demanding ransom payments. It was a wake-up call. North Korea could unleash chaos with just a few lines of code. But money isn't their only target. Lazarus has also been tied to espionage, stealing military data and spying on rival governments. Every attack serves two goals: to bring in funds and to boost North Korea's leverage on the world stage. What makes them truly dangerous is their unpredictability. They don't always care who gets hurt or what the fallout is. For a small, isolated state, cyber war is the ultimate equalizer, letting Pyongyang punch far above its weight. That's why the Lazarus Group is feared everywhere. Because in today's world, North Korea's real weapons are money, chaos, and fear, delivered through cyberspace. Iran doesn't have the biggest army in cyberspace, but it has one of the most determined. Its hackers are often known as APT-33 and APT-34, and they've built a reputation for bold strikes across the Middle East and beyond. Their main targets? Energy companies, oil refineries, and government networks. Iran knows that controlling energy means controlling power, both literally and politically. So their cyber units go after oil giants in Saudi Arabia, the Gulf states, and even Western companies. One of their most famous moves was the Shamoon virus attack, which wiped out tens of thousands of computers in Saudi Aramco. Overnight, one of the world's biggest oil producers was thrown into digital chaos. A PT-33 has also focused on aviation and defense contractors, trying to steal research and designs. A PT-34, sometimes called oil rig, specializes in espionage, breaking into email servers and quietly siphoning data for months. What makes Iran's cyber army different is its regional focus. It's less about global domination, more about building influence in the Middle East, from Iraq and Syria to the Persian Gulf. And for a country facing constant sanctions and military pressure, cyber warfare is the perfect tool: cheap, deniable, and effective. But these hackers aren't only playing defense. They've shown they can hit back at rivals, disrupt industries, and send a message. Even without a massive conventional army, Iran can fight in the digital shadows. If Russia's hackers spread chaos, China's cyber army plays a slower but far more ambitious game, stealing secrets to build lasting power. The best-known branch is PLA Unit 61398, operating out of Shanghai. For over a decade, Western intelligence agencies have accused it of breaking into some of the biggest corporations and government networks on Earth. Their favorite targets? Factories, global tech giants, aerospace projects, financial institutions, and even the designs of next-generation microchips. The logic is simple. Why spend decades and billions on research when you can take the results straight from your competitors? These stolen technologies feed China's economy, modernize its military, and accelerate its rise as a global superpower. Unlike Russia's loud and chaotic attacks, China's style is quiet, patient, and massive. Investigators believe Unit 61398 has siphoned off mountains of data, entire libraries of classified research, business plans, and cutting-edge blueprints. Most victims don't even realize they've been breached until years later when it's far too late. For Beijing, cyber espionage isn't just a weapon. It's a strategic tool of national growth, seen as vital as building ships, missiles, or factories. Every stolen file, Every compromised server is another shortcut in catching up with and eventually surpassing the West. That's why many experts argue that China's hackers are not only the most active, but also the most strategic and disciplined in the world of cyber warfare. Ukraine may not have the biggest budget, but since 2022, it has built one of the most active cyber forces in the world. Official units exist inside the Ministry of Defense and SBU, but the real breakthrough was the IT Army of Ukraine, a volunteer movement coordinated through Telegram. Thousands of programmers, experts, and even students join daily to hit Russian websites, banks, logistics, and leak sensitive military data. Volunteers from around the globe take part, making it a worldwide swarm. Unlike traditional structures, the IT Army is fast and unpredictable. One day it floods propaganda channels, the next it disrupts servers or exposes troop movements. The results are clear. Ukraine has shown it can fight back and even outsmart Russia's hackers. In today's digital age, you don't need to be a superpower to wield cyber power. Ukraine proved that resilience and creativity can challenge even a much larger enemy. In the end, cyber armies are the invisible soldiers of our time. They fight with code instead of bullets, but their impact can shake entire nations. Subscribe if you want to discover more about the hidden battles shaping our world.